Let's talk a little bit about the food system. The system is quite a bit different than a lot of other games. Whenever you eat foods, they will grant you different amount of food event points towards different attributes like strength, intelligence, perception, and so on. After you gain enough of these food event points to fill this bar, you'll receive an attribute chosen from the ones you ate. If you fill half your bar with strength, then you'll have about a 50% chance to increase your strength attribute. The number of food event points required to fill the bar is determined by your highest attribute. For example, if our highest attribute was strength at 24, then we would need to eat at least 24 food event points to fill our bar. If you raise one attribute much higher than the rest, then it will require more food for you to raise those other attributes. That's why you may want to keep your attributes around the same value, but there are several exceptions. There's also a secret modifier that affects food event points required. Every time you eat a unique food, the number of food event points required gets lowered. This modifier resets every time you gain an attribute. If we eat, for example, 3 different food items, like fox meat, squirrel meat, and blueberries, each of these will lower the food event points needed to fill the bar. If I were to eat another blueberry, it wouldn't lower the food event point cost because it wasn't unique anymore. Once we gain an attribute point, the blueberries can be eaten as a unique food once again. That's why it's generally more effective to eat different sets of food rather than just spam one type a million times in a row. One cool little trick is, if you're getting close to filling the food event points bar, you can eat a spindly taproot. It provides no food event points, but it does count as a unique food item, thus lowering the food event points required, and that's sometimes enough to fill the bar up. Another thing that can affect the food event points you get is the freshness of the food. Certain foods offer more food event points while they're still hot and sizzling. This also applies to tea, which gets a 20 quality buff when it's still piping hot. Satiations are a penalty you get from eating the same foods repeatedly. Every food will satiate its own category, and satiated foods become less effective for gaining food event points, which is shown as a percentage. These satiations will go down slowly over time. You can also use drinks to prevent or reduce the satiations you gain. There are numerous drinks in the game that target their own specific types of food. And this is your hunger level. It ranges from 300% to 50%. It goes up slowly over time, and if it hasn't changed too much from previous worlds, it should recover faster at lower food efficiency levels. At 300% food effectiveness, the food event points you gain when eating will be tripled. So a piece of meat that gives us 6 food event points will instead give us 18. That's why it's important to keep your food efficiency as high as possible. One thing you can do to improve your hunger level is complete quests. Some quests reward players with a reduction to your hunger level. If you smoke cured hemp bud, you will also get a buff that decreases the amount of hunger you receive from food you eat. There are also various objects that provide nice little bonuses to your eating, like chairs and cymbal. You can fill a table with unique cymbal with varying bonuses, like reducing hunger and increasing food event points. These items each have a certain chance to degrade every time a piece of food is eaten. When an object degrades, it also reduces the bonus it grants. Once an item reaches its maximum wear, it is destroyed, but you can also use Hearth magic, polished silver, to repair damaged cymbal. Additionally, you can build a bonfire and eat with friends, so you can feast longer and gain better bonuses. The bonus is determined by the collected hunger modifiers of all active tables and the average charisma of everyone at the party. The character with the highest charisma should also be the one to light the fire. And lastly, we have energy. When your character has below 8,000 energy, you will not gain any food event points, saturations, or hunger unless you're eating at a table. This will allow you to refill the energy without ruining your food event point distribution. Roast hopper is a perfect food for gaining energy since it offers 700 energy per unit and they are very common. But be careful not to let your energy slip below 2,000 or your character will enter a starved state, which slowly drains your health. There's so many different details and tricks to everything in the game that it's inevitable I've missed something, like, for example, salt crystals or pepper or whatever. So if I've made a mistake or you have your own suggestion on what I should have included, leave them in the comments below. Best of luck out there in the Heartlands.